We begin now with politics, where Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, other elected officials and People's Democratic Party leaders at the ward and state levels are formally joining the All Progressives Congress. Oborevwori, who defected from the PDP last week, will receive the broom, the symbol of the ruling party, from Vice President Kashim Shettima and APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje at the Cenotaph, the site of the historic rally. Now, this defection is being hailed as a significant political event, described by some observers as a political tsunami, as Delta State has been a stronghold of the PDP since 1999. In the meantime, Kebbi State Governor Dr. Nasir Idris has dismissed rumors suggesting that he and 4 other governors are planning to defect from the All Progressives Congress. In a press statement issued on Sunday, the governor described the report as malicious fabrications by what he called unserious political comedians. Responding to social media speculation linking him to a coalition led by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Idris reaffirmed his loyalty to the APC, declaring he's made in APC, by APC, and for APC. Now, Idris, popularly known as Karan Gwandu, reiterated his commitment to the people of Kebbi State and to the vision of President Bola Tinubu, stressing that his focus remains on delivering good governance and building on the successes of the APC. Meanwhile, 17 prominent Nigerians, including Chidi Odinkalu, Babafemi Ojudu, and Richard Akinola, have warned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu against moves that they say are eroding Nigeria's democracy and pushing the country towards a one-party state. Now, in a statement made available to newsmen, the group expressed alarm at what they described as a calculated and systematic effort by the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to dismantle the democratic foundations of our republic. Now, they accused the administration of using bribery, blackmail, and coercion to weaken opposition parties, claiming that political figures are defecting to the ruling party, not out of conviction, but out of fear and pressure. Now, they urged President Tinubu to respect the democratic path that brought him to power and to end the persecution and intimidation of opposition leaders. Now, in reaction, the presidency has dismissed claims that democracy is under threat following recent defections of key opposition figures to the ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC. In a statement on Sunday, Presidential Advisor Bayo Ononuga said the movement of politicians into the APC reflects freedom of association, not a drift towards authoritarianism. He cited the defection of Akwa Ibom and Delta governors, among others, as political realignments within a healthy democracy. Ononuga accused opposition figures of hypocrisy and failing in their duties, adding that President Tinubu remains committed to a vibrant multi-party system. Now, the presidency insists Nigerians are joining the APC voluntarily based on confidence in Tinubu's reforms. And in the meantime, Abia State Governor Alex Oti has dismissed reports suggesting that he's planning to defect to the All Progressives Congress from the Labour Party. Now, in a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ferdinand Ikioma, the governor clarified that he neither held any meeting with Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma nor discussed plans to join the APC. He explained that following the National Economic Council meeting on Thursday, 24th of April, Governor Oti, alongside a few of his colleagues, had attended the birthday celebration of Governor Uzodinma's twin daughters, a purely social event unconnected to politics. Ikioma stressed that any major political move by Governor Oti must be justified and demonstrably in the overriding interest of the Abia people. And in the meantime, the Nigeria Labour Congress has directed its River State Council to organize a peaceful rally on the 1st of May 2025 as part of activities to commemorate this year's Workers' Day. Now, the rally will be held within the council's premises, involving all affiliate unions, and will focus on advocating for the restoration of democratic governance in the state. Now, in a letter signed by Deputy General Secretary Comrade Ismail Bello, the NLC leadership stressed that given the peculiar circumstance of the subversion of democratic governance in Rivers, the celebration should be marked by sober reflection rather than fanfare. Now, the rally is expected to deliver strong messages centered on the demand for democratic governance, improved welfare for workers, and the people's yearning for freedom and liberty. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still News Central now, and we're still talking about political defections, Nigerians' politics. And joining us to discuss more on the Delta State Governor Sheriff Oboreveri's new update is political analyst Catch Ononuju. Thank you so much, Catch, for joining us to discuss this.
Thank you very much for having me on your channel.
Absolute pleasure. All right. So very quickly, I just want us to go straight into it. I'm sure you know about the latest development. How do you interpret the recent wave of defections from opposition parties to the APC? Would you say that this is a sign of a healthy democracy, or it's a sign of coercion?
Oh, well, it's a consequence of wrong calculations by the opposition. As I speak to you now, they have not resolved the lingering crisis caused by Mr. Atiku Abubakar's undermining of the zoning formula. And that's why the opposition are in total disarray. And because of that and fear of the formidable organization in the APC, which even employs different kinds of strategies towards capturing any state they go into an off-season election with and other elections. So the politicians are doing the right thing, just wanting to be safe, to play safe. You go join the dominant incumbent party where you think you may not be rigged out from, because they do not only dominate the incumbency, they also do have controls over cohesive elements in the state, like the police, like the INEC, and the judiciary to a very strong extent. So I think the consequence of the opposition getting its act wrong, not being able to rein in those who undermine inclusion, like Mr. Atiku, is why you now have us too. So you see, the impact of not allowing inclusive democracy to be as it should be, and in this case, representative. This is the reasons why the opposition has fallen into disarray. So I don't think they have anybody to blame but themselves. You can see the governors beginning to even say they will zone the presidency to the south, telling you that they understand the reasons why the party just imploded and people went their different ways. So if until they solve the Atiku Abubakar crisis they have, the opposition will not be able to find the unity to stand as one and challenge the incumbent APC.
All right. Speaking of party being in disarray, there are claims that President Tinubu's administration is undermining Nigeria's democracy. What do we make of that? What's your take?
Well, it's like you claiming that your neighbor is undermining your marriage, whereas the real truth is you're having an internal fight in your house. And due to the internal fight, which is a consequence of you not being able to manage the interpersonal relationship in the marriage. And then one of the partners gets too loud, very noisy, keeps screaming, she will leave, she will get out, she needs divorce, she would not want to be in this kind of suffering arrangement. It is you who allowed your house to implode in the first place that should take the blame. Now start thinking about, public reactions. Of course, the public will react. And those who don't like you, like in this case, the opposite party, which is, in this case, the APC against, as opposed to the PDP and other oppositions. The APC take this kind of actions to win. You see, now, yes, you could question their strategies, which in most cases, which I have said earlier, border on state capture protocols. But who allows it to occur in the first place? It is the disunity in the PDP. And how did the disunity come? decision by Atiku and others from the north to contest the presidency. And once the Southerners did not think you allowed them inclusion, don't forget in Nigeria, to allow the North inclusion, we embraced the policy which you call quota system. That's how we included the North in the scheme of things. So how would some Northerners now not even want the Southerners to be included? So you end up seeing a lot of the Southerners who are governors in opposing camps, like the River State Governor, Delta State Governor, complete with Atiku's immediate presidential running mate, Mr. Okowa, and then look at Akwa Ibom, where the governor has sounded the very first, conciliatory note to the Senate president who comes from Akwa Ibom State. So, yes, the carpentry wasn't very smooth at the very first time, but they have reasons now. They need to be inclusive. Once the Northerners who organized with Atiku refused to allow the inclusion of the South in the PDP imploded. And then people went their different ways. And today, they say the past is history. So I think the PDP should blame itself for not being able to come together and do the right thing to have stopped the Southerners from exuding the party as they have done. So that exodus is actually what has caused this hemorrhage. They've not been able to fix it because Atiku, Tambuwal, and the rest of them, they're even doubling down, telling you they seem not to care. And I think that's why we have to now suspend, whatever it is we say we're doing, by democracy to actually question inclusion. Inclusion is what it is. And that's why the president also has problem currently. Borrowing Buhari's nepotism wholesale would not help. You need to include other people in the scheme of governance in Nigeria for us to have peace. Yes, I condemn Buhari's nepotism, and that's why I ask that those who are now complaining against Tinubu, why were they mute during the Buhari days? Because maybe, yes, the nepotism was first targeted at the Igbos when Buhari talked about, 95% and 7% analogies. I don't know how he met that. But you can see now his 5% vote, according to him, he used that as a reason to exclude a large swath of people. He even went on to exclude the Southeast in building the Ibekachukwu designed gas master plan. And he made sure he removed the Southeast from having any pressure points along the gas master plan. And this is why we think it's wrong when people now commit to this exclusion, playing the game of nepotism, which Buhari used, which Northerners now who supported Buhari when he did it are suddenly not supporting Tinubu. And that seems to be the reason now for the realignment and alignments that we are currently seeing within the political, theater. And that, I believe, will be the divides that will shape the different camps going into 2027 election. The need, as the Southerners insist, that they must have their turn till even 2027 and thereafter. And then which some people say no, because they don't want the accommodating affirmative action that accommodates other people. I think this is very dangerous, the way it's been played and led by people like Atiku. He has used that strategy to kill the PDP. So nothing like blaming Tinubu now.
Okay.
Of course, Tinubu will always have rascals who work with him, who will want to undermine the other people, but then don't give them the chance to undermine you.
All right.
That's how the game is played.
Thank you so much, political analyst Catch Ononiju, for joining us and sharing your own thought on the political landscape, basically, of the country. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, some more stories now. Meanwhile, a pro-Fubara group known as Rivers Women Unite for SIM has pledged support for President Bola Tinubu, but wants the suspended governor, Simeola Fubara, to be reinstated as soon as possible. News Central's Biola Festus has been tracking developments in the state.
The declaration of emergency rule in Rivers State on the 18th of March 2025. Rivers women under the platform of Rivers Women Unite for SIM was the first to demand the reinstatement of the suspended governor of the state, Siminalayi Fubara. Consistently, they gathered and expressed their displeasure with the emergency rule. Other times, they took to the streets in peaceful protests.
We are pleading, we are not forcing him. He should plead, he should please listen to the cry of the women, cry of the state, the children, the youths, the elders, even the civil servants are pleading that same should be restored.
Seeing the state of the emergency now, you can see the contracts have been made, no contract again. Because that is where the youth, sometimes there is no job in the country, so that is where they help themselves. It is no more. And we are crying, begging Tinubu as a father, that Tinubu should please bring back Siminalayi Fubara because he is the chosen one.
This time, the tone of their demand took a different dimension, with a promise directly to President Bola Tinubu.
We are therefore looking up to the President, who we are solidly behind, to rescue Rivers women by lifting this burden of state of emergency from our dear state and to restore our democratic institutions. We are sure, Mr. President, to continue standing by him as part of our appreciation.
The women further called for reconciliation among the warring political actors in the interest of peace.
We as Rivers women are also calling for genuine reconciliation amongst the parties and ask the major actors to put Rivers State first in all their dealings and to put aside every grievance so as to pave the way for love and absolute peace to thrive. It is obvious that our state is the major loser of the emergency rule, as many development actions are on suspension and our people are languishing in anxiety as an aftermath.
The women are saying no more protests, believing that the presidency will heed their demands in no distant time. In Rivers for News Central, Biola Festus.
Now, the embattled Emir Aminu Ado Bayero has appointed his elder brother and Wamban Kano, Sanusi Ado Bayero, as the Galadim Kano. The appointment comes just days after Emir Muhammad Sanusi II named Manir Sanusi to the same prestigious position, traditionally reserved for princes of the Kano Emirate. The latest appointment, detailed in a letter dated 21st April 2025 and signed by Senior Administrative Officer Awaisu Sanusi, invites Sanusi Ado Bayero to the Nasarawa Palace Mosque on the 2nd of May 2025 for his official installation. Now, Emir Sanusi II, who was reinstated to the throne in June 2024 amid intense political controversy, had earlier approved the elevation of Manu Sanusi to the Galadima title following the death of Abbas Sanusi, the previous Galadim Kano. The late Abbas Sanusi, a highly respected elder of the Emirate, passed away in March 2025 after a prolonged illness, leaving vacant one of the Emirate's most senior and symbolic titles. Now to security matters. Tragedy has struck once again in Benue State as violence continues to escalate in Makurdi. Suspected herdsmen have repeatedly targeted innocent civilians and seized land across the state. On Sunday night, the 27th of April, more than 10 people were shot at a bar near the Okada office in Akbehe. At least 4 individuals were confirmed dead at the scene. This latest attack follows a series of similar deadly incidents in the area, heightening fear among local residents. While deadly raids by suspected herdsmen persist in Benue's rural communities, authorities are investigating this particular incident as possibly linked to cult-related violence, a growing concern in urban areas. Meanwhile, the General Officer Commander, 3 Armored Division and Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Fusho Oola, has called for the collective commitment of all stakeholders in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State for a peaceful farming season across the state. Now, Major General Oola made this call during a peace and unity summit and football competition in the locality for a rancor-free farming season. News Central's Chizoba Anyuwe was there for News Central.
This is the second time Operation Safe Haven is organizing this kind of event for the safety of both lives, farm produce, and cattle as the farming season sets in. This time around, under the command of Major General Fusho Oola, the GOC 3 Division, and Commander Operation Safe Haven. With the theme, Peaceful Coexistence Towards a Successful Farming Season, these stakeholders are expected to play according to the rules.
I am well aware of the recurring challenges that accompany the farming season, including drought disruptions and attacks on livestock. This segment provides a vital platform for dialogue and the development of practical modalities for a peaceful and productive farming season.
These scholars gathered here speak to the minds of these farmers for a hitch-free farming season.
The issue is manipulation of tribe and religion. So it must be discarded. It's one of the way forward. All these politicians that are manipulating politics with religion and tribalism in order to achieve their own selfish interests, it must be checked.
We must take a decision, personal decision, to be committed to peaceful coexistence. Each stakeholder must play their own role. The security, the legislative, all of them, we must play our part.
For these locals, anything that will secure their lives and means of livelihood will be appreciated.
We need more security. When we have them enough, I think all those things will be stopped.
We have to have ourselves first. We have to be alert. Once you see someone that is a foreign now, you don't understand that person. You need to call the attention of the security men.
The commander further unveiled some motorcycles to enhance security in the area and thereafter kicked off a football tournament in his honor. With the charges of the GOC here, one would expect that these stakeholders here will take back home the message learned from this event to step it down to other stakeholders who were not able to make it here to ensure that the next farming season will be a hitch-free one for both farmers and herders in Sanga local government area. From Kaduna State for News Central, Chizoba Anyuwe.
And now, after more than 12 years of displacement caused by insurgent activities, the Benu state government has successfully resettled residents in Malam Fattorii, the headquarters of Abadam local government area. Former inhabitants of Malam Fattorii who had sought refuge in Boso, Niger Republic, are now happily returning home. News Central's Umoru Kirawa reports.
In what once seemed like a distant dream, market activities have resumed in Malam Fattorii, signaling a return to normalcy in the headquarters of Abadam local government area, Borno State. A former battleground and terrorist stronghold, Malam Fattorii has now been reclaimed with civil authority fully restored.
Almost 8,000 people, that is 1,000 head of households. So we pray that they are coming back today is for the final leg of their returning back to their ancestral homes. And we hope and pray that very soon they will take the pieces of their lives by going back to their farms, going back to their trading business.
We finished Friday prayer in Malam Fattorii. From 21st to 25th, we resettled 1,000 households, equivalent to 8,000 people. The people of Malam Fattorii are very happy, and we are very grateful to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana, for making this happen, consistent with his resettlement plan and also consistent with his policy on sustainable solutions to internal displacement.
This is a day we have been struggling to reach, and today, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are able to achieve it. Secondly, we also like to thank the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana, who has been struggling to see that the people of Malam Fattorii are resettled back to their ancestral homes.
Local traders and farmers are re-establishing their businesses, driving the town's economic revitalization.
Commissioner local government Commissioner information Krita Isa ngo balangala dana chinoa roga ono mosa and just knasare and just ron nemena mayro askriana.
While the security situation continues to improve, a significant challenge for the government remains the management and reintegration of over 300,000 repentant terrorists over the past 3 years. Meanwhile, families from Marte, Guzamala and selected communities in Goza local government areas are still awaiting improved security conditions to enable their resettlement and the rebuilding of their lives after years of displacement. In Malam Fattorii for News Central, Umori Kirawa.
For generations now, Ajiwa Dam in Katsina State was synonymous with thriving chili farms until now. Climate change, deforestation and dying soils are forcing farmers like Abdul Hamid Mai Zubaru to face an unthinkable choice: abandon their ancestral livelihood or starve. Our reporter Jamil Mabai investigates how smart agriculture and resilient crops could revive Ajiwa's fading chili empire. His report.
For 35 years, Abdulhamid Maizabura has known only one way of life: chili pepper farming. Once the heartbeat of chili production in the state, his land now struggles to yield expected produce.
Amma yau an waye gari tangande da muke alfahari da shi a wannan logon yau ya zanto baya. Ya ni shekara biyu ma ban sa tangande ba. Da bana da bara ko gindi ban dasa ma bane. Ka san ko a wannan logon ina ga da cikin manoma na wannan logon wanda suke samun amfanin gona na tattasai.
The soil, exhausted by climate change and deforestation, has turned against him.
Mu dai noman nan shi muka sani shi ne sana'a. To kuma ga sana'ar ta mu tana neman ta gagare mu saboda bayi.
For the first time in his life, Maizabura is at a crossroads. Either he abandons his only livelihood or choose starvation.
Na barin wannan kogin mu tai wani kogi ni nan kaina yanzu ina da shawarwarin kila in raba noman rani na biyu in Allah ya kama lokacin da za a yi in tai wani kogi inda ake samu in yi ko in tai kasar kaita ko in tai kasar mashi ko in tai kasar mai aduwa ko in tai kasar daura.
Maizabura's story is not unique. Thousands of families in Ajiwa depended on irrigation farming until now.
Mafi ɗan uwanmu wanda suke so abin ma ya ci musu so a kware so sun tafi. To ana haka masu ƙwazon yin ma za su iya bari. Kuma kaga abin yi zai ragu. Kan nan nauyin mu ya ƙaru. Kan nan ciyarwar mu ta iyalin mu ta ƙaru. Kuma samayyar da ake da abin ta ragu. Kan nan ga tsada.
However, rampant tree cutting for firewood and the uncontrolled erosion have stripped the land of its fertility. Lower yields mean less food and less income. But 25 kilometers away, there is hope. Agricultural experts say smart farming could be the lifeline Ajiwa farmers desperately need.
We use these tanks to pump the water through all these hoses so that it will supply the water to any places where we plant. These hoses were designed to make sure the water come in drops.
With real-time data, farmers like Maizabura could know exactly when to plant, water, or harvest, maximizing their shrinking resources.
We reduce the impact of climate change and find a way so that we can have a better yield and improve varieties. Even in the rainy season farming, we have different kind of varieties that will stand this shortage of water.
Maizabura wants improved seedlings that are climate change resilient to revive his farming. Researchers like Bawali have started producing improved seedlings that feeds Maizabura's demand. From Katsina, for News Central, Jamil Mabai.
Friends, family, and the creme de la creme of Nigeria's political elite have extolled the life and times of Nigeria's former Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Dubem Onyia. Onyia, who died at the age of 73 after a brief illness, was a member of the cabinet of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, during his night of tribute in Abuja, described the late former federal minister as a patriot dedicated to the cause of Nigeria. Others in attendance say his impact on Nigeria's foreign policy cannot be overemphasized, as he left indelible prints in charting a direction for the nation in its engagement with the international community.
He was a patriot, dedicated and loyal patriot. And today we are here to remember him.
In our lifetime, the space of our lifetime permits us to pursue three causes. One, to build a family. Two, to build a career. Three, to build relationships. And I want to say that in the life of our friend and our brother, Dubem Onyia, we can all testify that he built a family.
He was very honest, a diplomat, a great diplomat who transformed Nigeria's foreign policy from military diplomacy to democratic diplomacy.
This is a road that all of us will pass through. So the most important thing is to pray for the departed. God will not keep him if he had not kept Jesus Christ, who he took at 33 years of age. He took Prophet Muhammad at 63 years of age. So if he could take those two, I don't know about you, no matter how long he will be.
Onyia died as one of Nigeria's finest public servants, who dedicated his life to the service of the people.
Many thanks for staying with us on the news. Now to more stories. In Libya, a senior military officer has been shot dead during an attack on his home in Tripoli. Brigadier General Ramadan AlRayani was killed on Sunday by unidentified gunmen in the Al-Kala district south of the capital. Prime Minister Abdulhamid Beiba has condemned the attack, describing AlRayani as a martyr who died defending his home. He has ordered a full investigation to be led by the military prosecutor. Now, witnesses say the general managed to kill 3 of the attackers before he was fatally shot. The motive for the attack remains unclear, but it comes amid continued instability in Libya. Now, Namibia's President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah has dismissed Agriculture Minister Dr. Mark Albert Hengari amid an ongoing investigation into allegations of rape, according to her office on Sunday. A local media report that a minor has accused Hengari of the crime, and he may also face charges for abduction and illegal abortion. Hengari's removal from office takes effect from April 23, 2025. This investigation into the minister's actions is being closely followed by the police. And this move marks another significant action under Nandi-Ndaitwah, who became Namibia's first female president in March 2025. Nandi-Ndaitwah from the SWAPO party has taken firm steps to address serious allegations against high-ranking officials within her government.